Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Get ready for an electrifying journey that will leave you breathless and your heart racing. Ready? Let's jump right into it. As always, we'd like to start our videos with something grand, and today's episode is no exception. Our first Trailcam capture is something big, literally. The image you see on your screen was captured by a trail camera set up in Sydney, Australia. Now, we know Australia has some big things, but, well, we didn't know primates and apes that looked like this were a part of their ecosystem. Any paranormal enthusiast who saw this will outrightly call it a Bigfoot, and it turns out that Australia has its own version of the Bigfoot called the yowie. In case you're wondering how different this is from our usual Bigfoot, we did the research for you, and it turns out there are no real differences. They simply call it the yowie while the rest of us call it the Bigfoot. For our skeptics out there, if Bigfoot isn't real, how come he's been seen by individuals from different cultures in different regions? How come the descriptions from each of these cultures, who may never have interacted with each other, are the same? It has to be more than a coincidence, right? Think about it. If you found that piece of footage fascinating, then this next footage will have you shaken. Have a look. This footage was captured in 2015 in an undisclosed location in Russia. The uploader of the footage refused to give further info to avoid being tracked. The footage initially seems like a typical forest exploration video, albeit with a tense atmosphere. The person behind the camera moves cautiously and fixates on a specific area. After a few seconds, we realize why. A creature suddenly comes out of hiding and starts moving away from the explorers. It initially walks in a gorilla-like knuckle walk, but swiftly switches to leaping and bounding to escape. It definitely didn't want to be seen by the explorers. Why? Maybe it's shy, but I don't think that's it. At first glance, it looks like a really large gorilla, but its subsequent movements take it out of the realm of an ordinary primate. It definitely has to be something more. Now, which creature do we know that looks like an ape, moves on 2 feet, and avoids humans at all costs? That's right, a Bigfoot. Do you think that's the creature we just saw, or are we seeing things that are not there? Share your thoughts in the comments section. We know many suggest Bigfoot is some prehistoric ape that never went extinct, but what if I told you our next trail cam footage contains something more ancient? Pay attention to the clip and tell me what you see. Do you think dinosaur or kangaroo? You know what? Watch it again. Did you see it? Now tell me, is that a kangaroo or does it look like a dinosaur? It definitely looks like a dinosaur, but how's that even possible? The truth is, well, we don't know. A trail cam enthusiast set up his trail camera in the remote part of the woods in a bid to capture some wildlife, and this is what he ended up capturing. He uploaded the footage online to try and get everyone's opinion, and all who saw it believed they were dealing with a dinosaur. Skeptics were quick to point out that dinosaurs have been extinct for millions of years, and this was most probably a small kangaroo. But do tell me, oh observant viewers of mine, does that look like a kangaroo to you? It most definitely doesn't. If we are dealing with a dinosaur, then you have to wonder where it came from and how many of these creatures are roaming the earth in the shadows. I've seen weird things, but this next capture weirded me out more than most. It's not something I'm proud to admit, but anyone who knows me knows strange dolls, well, they scare me. And there are not many dolls weirder than what I'm about to show you. In fact, take a look. Did you see those dolls? Don't they look like the way the characters in Minecraft look? You can't unsee it now, can you? Imagine moving through the dark woods with the owls hooting and insects of the night giving off their eerie music. Your only source of light is the moon as you try to look beyond the trees in front of you, and then your gaze falls on these bizarre dolls. How would you react? Personally, I don't think I would handle it well, given the fact that I'm still recovering from Chucky, believe it or not. But you have to wonder, who set up these dolls and why? What's the story behind them? Is it just for fun, or is there something more sinister at play here? Share your thoughts, because I'd really love to hear them. What do you think is responsible for building such a thing like this in a remote part of the woods? To give you context, an explorer found this structure in a woodland area that doesn't see many visitors due to how far and remote it is. Imagine walking into something like this in an area not many humans have visited. What would go through your mind? Well, the one who recorded the footage didn't know what to make of it and decided to upload it online so people could share their thoughts. Many thought a Sasquatch built that and deserted the area when it noticed humans coming. Others believe it's a hunting blind. If you're familiar with hunting blinds, it's a structure or mechanism a hunter puts up in place to avoid being detected by wild animals. They don't exactly look like this, but this could pass for a makeshift one. But even for a makeshift one, this looks a tad too complex. Now, given these two options, which do you think we're dealing with here? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. This controversial capture was sent to us by a subscriber who had seen it on one of the paranormal platforms. According to the subscriber, this has been a subject of much controversy and she wanted us to clear it up. What do you see? Do you see the forest alone, or do you see a yeti staring at you with a look so sinister and serious it could chill your very soul? From afar, the capture looks like a set of trees or tree branches with snow on them. A second look, and it looks like there's an actual face and body of a humanoid moving from the left to the right. You have to be paying attention or very observant to see the creature in question. Do you see it too, or are we simply imagining and seeing things that aren't there? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Still on the subject of large and ape-like humanoid creatures, take a look at this next footage. At first glance, the footage looks like it's documenting the lush greenery we see. After a second or two, you start to notice that whoever the cinematographer is, he seems to be focusing on just one area. In another second or two, you see it. There's a large ape-like creature standing there. It's almost as though the creature is intelligently hiding behind the tree so it's not noticed. As earnest and sincere as its actions might be, it's clear that it needs to do better because we can certainly see it. But you have got to wonder, what humanoid creature is that? The skeptics might not like to hear it, but I really believe that's a Bigfoot. Before you call it a hoax and write it off, take a second look at it. You see it, don't you? If it wasn't a Bigfoot, why would it be hiding like that? How many creatures do you know with that level of intelligence? How many more do you know seemingly look like apes and walk like humans? Only one creature rings a bell, right? The Bigfoot. Are you familiar with shadow creatures? No? Watch this footage. Did you see the creature moving from the back to the vehicles packed near the camera? Did you see the form of the creature? Yes, it was fast, but the creature moved almost as though it was smoke without any real form. In fact, the one who uploaded it didn't notice it until he was going through the footage recorded by his camera. Perplexed by what he saw, he brought it to the online paranormal community for an explanation. Most of those who saw it didn't know what to make of it. Some thought it was a cryptid with strange powers, and others assumed it might be aliens. But if you have done this as long as we have, you start to suspect it's a shadow creature. Not much is known about these creatures, and perhaps we might have an entire episode dedicated to them in the future. But until then, my personal verdict about this creature is that it's a shadow creature. What do you also think? Do you share the same sentiment, or do you believe there's more at play here that I am missing? Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section. Have you ever wondered what a dead Bigfoot would look like? If you haven't, well, wonder no more. I have an image from the 1940s of one right here. I know the image is confusing and doesn't look like much, but believe me when I tell you that's actually a dead Bigfoot. At least according to the one who took the picture in the 1940s. This image is supposed to be a picture of a Bigfoot lying on its back, dead. If you ask me, however, I would say it looks like it was lying on its face instead, but, well, what do I know? And beyond that, the image was apparently taken in the 1940s. This should explain the black and white nature of the image and lack of detail. But what do you think? Does it look legit, or does it sound like a fabricated tale to you? Let us know in the comments section. Would you stand by and record if you ran into a strange entity, or would you take to your heels? Well, the individual who recorded our next footage thought it would be a good idea to stand, record, and pray. Did it end well? Well, perhaps you should see for yourself. Did you see it? If you pay attention to the center of the footage, there's some sort of weird-looking creature there. At first glance, I assumed it was a Skinwalker, and if you know anything about the Navajo culture, you'd agree. After all, it looked more like a Skinwalker transforming. After a few seconds in the footage, however, it starts to look like whatever that thing is starts floating. Yes, floating. Now, I won't pretend to be an expert on the Navajo culture, but I didn't know skinwalkers could float. After some seconds, the individual starts praying and binding the entity. He genuinely believed it would work, but turns out whatever he was doing wasn't enough, and once he realized it, he did what any smart human being would do. He ran away. Before you laugh or judge him harshly, know that his life was flashing before his eyes. What would you have done in such a situation? When I hear about the color green, the first thing that comes to mind are groves of trees, vegetation, algae, moss, etc. You name it all, and they will always come in different beautiful shades of green, be it naturally or artificially. When it comes to this next capture, it appears there's more happening in the footage than meets the eye. There appears to be a face in there blending perfectly with the rest of the foliage. Do you see it? You have to wonder what's the creature and why does it blend in so well with the green? Is it some sort of cryptid, or are we dealing with something more sinister? It's hard to tell since none of us have ever had any experience with whatever creature it is. Is it some sort of cryptid, or are we simply dealing with an otherworldly creature? Kindly share your thoughts in the comments section, as we'd really love to hear them. In a remote vicinity somewhere in the woods, we notice different shades of green grass up onto the path where it breaks into an entire forest with many tall trees in broad daylight. Wonderful for a stroll. Initially, this video seems to capture the beauty of nature, but it takes an unexpected turn when we spot something in the woods. Something big, something large, and quite frankly, unusual. At first glance, one might be tempted to think we're dealing with a bear, but after a few seconds, it becomes evident that the creature is no bear. The creature has a large body frame and brown fur and appears to have its back to the recorder. While it might initially resemble an orangutan, orangutans are typically found in trees, and this creature's size seems much larger. It doesn't make a move and remains perfectly still even while the uploader of the footage continues to record. You know I love my Bigfoots, and I'm tempted to think that this creature is yet another one. But if this is a Bigfoot, why is it out in the day? Does it not care about being seen? Or am I simply seeing a Bigfoot because, well, I love the creature so much? Perhaps I could use a second opinion. What do you see? This video clip was taken in the woods with trees on the far ends of the vicinity. In the clip, we see two creatures lying amid the woods looking like they've passed out. The footage reveals a long white snake and a humanoid figure with a pure white complexion and deformed legs, giving an otherworldly appearance. It appears as though these creatures have come from another world, suggesting the possibility of interdimensional collisions bringing their inhabitants to Earth. While many of us held on to this ideology, quite a number of individuals in the paranormal community who saw the footage believe we're dealing with an albino slenderman, a cursed man and his companion who was turned into a pet snake. They believe this duo was discovered and defeated by explorers. While this makes for a more intriguing and interesting tale, I'm leaning much more towards this being an encounter with either interdimensional or extraterrestrial beings. What about you? If you've made it this far and haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do that before we go on? Thanks very much, it means a lot. Coming back to the episode, the woods, dense with tall trees and lush green leaves, bathed in sunlight on a hot afternoon. A deeper shade of green can be seen in the distance. Looking closely between the trees, we notice the presence of a dark and tall figure with an eerie appearance. The creature has a dark, dog-like face and it's walking on two legs. It brings to mind the legendary Dogman, which only a few have had the opportunity to meet. For those who don't know, the Dogman is a humanoid figure with a dog-like face. It doesn't in any way behave like your everyday cute pups and wouldn't hesitate to take you out if it had to. This makes me wonder if this capture was taken near human settlements. If it was, then their lives might just be at stake. This fortunate homeowner managed to grab their camera just in time to witness a truly awe-inspiring, albeit frightening, display of nature's power. It all started with a heavy storm brewing on the horizon. Dark clouds gathered ominously, and rain began to pour like a torrent. Then, in an instant, a blinding bolt of lightning cracked the sky. The target of this electrifying spectacle, a massive tree. As the lightning struck, a brilliant burst of flame erupted around the point of impact. It was as if nature had decided to put on a spectacular show, and it did so with breathtaking yet terrifying displays of its sheer force. This footage serves as a powerful reminder of the immense power that nature wields, capable of both astonishing beauty and devastating destruction. It leaves me both terrified and excited. What about you? A family enjoying their time on their remote wooded property got an unexpected surprise when their vigilant dog alerted them to something in their backyard. Intrigued and perhaps a little anxious, they ventured over to investigate the source of their dog's excitement. What they encountered left them both intrigued and somewhat unsettled. There, amidst the trees and darkness, they noticed a pair of eyes peering back at them. These eyes blinked and darted about, suggesting that whatever they belonged to was moving stealthily among the trees. The question that now loomed over them was this: what could possibly be lurking in the woods? Was it merely some harmless nocturnal creatures going about their business, or was there something more enigmatic and potentially sinister concealed within the depths of the forest? The answer remains shrouded in the mystery of the woods. Now let's shift our focus to a truly remarkable and puzzling encounter captured on film. A beachgoer stumbled upon an octopus, an ocean-dwelling creature, in a location quite distant from its natural habitat, the vast ocean itself. The mystery deepens when we ponder how this cephalopod managed to traverse such a significant expanse of land. However, it seems we have an astute and resourceful fellow in our midst. If you direct your attention to the footage, you'll notice a small hole in the sandy terrain conveniently situated just behind our eight-armed friend. This seemingly unremarkable opening serves as a direct conduit to the boundless ocean beyond, and our clever marine companion took full advantage of it. This extraordinary display serves as a testament to the intelligence and adaptability of animals, attributes that we often underestimate. The octopus gracefully slithers back into the depths of its aquatic realm, seamlessly merging the realms of land and sea. It's fascinating, don't you think? Venturing into the woods under the shroud of mysterious noises is an adventure not many would willingly embark upon. However, this group of friends proved to be brave and inquisitive souls.
I feel like that deer is following us. I can hear it in the woods.
If I were in their shoes, I might have opted for the safety and comfort of home, but these intrepid individuals chose a different path. As they traversed the forest, one of them couldn't help but notice a deer tailing them closely. You can hear the mention of this peculiar companion in the footage, a gentle reminder of the curious and unexplained events unfolding around them. But their journey took a spine-chilling turn when an eerie, screeching sound echoed from the depths of the woods.
It's a light back there. Yep.
The fear in their voices and the urgency of their footsteps was palpable as they made a hasty retreat. It raises a perplexing question. What could possibly emit such a hair-raising, otherworldly sound? It certainly wasn't a deer, and it bore no resemblance to the calls of known animals. The mystery lingers, leaving us to ponder the enigmatic nature of the forest and the secrets it guards. Do you believe in aliens? Well, I do, and with the official announcement of UFOs in the US, I believe I am vindicated. But can that explain this? In the footage, we see an alien-looking creature moving in the water. It looks like a fish, and it swims in the water like a fish, but it has a face befitting a humanoid. But despite that, we can't really call it a human now, can we? A number of individuals who saw the footage believe it's a mutated fish, but I don't think so. We have always assumed aliens could move on land, like we do as humans, but what if, just what if there are aquatic aliens that need water to survive? What if they use robots to move on land like minions from Megamind? I know my mind goes a bit far, but have you ever thought about it? If you haven't, perhaps this piece of footage is your cue to do so. Encountering a scene like this can indeed send shivers down anyone's spine, and it's not hard to imagine a moose, those massive creatures, being involved in something scary or outright gory. But as the saying goes, appearances can be deceiving. Upon closer inspection and a bit of research, it turns out that there's no cause for alarm. What you're witnessing here is not a gory battlefield, but rather a natural and intriguing process. This moose is in the midst of shedding its velvet, a temporary skin that covers its antlers during their growth phase. Think of it as a moose's way of preparing for a regal makeover. Shedding this velvet is a crucial step for these majestic animals to welcome their new set of antlers, a true crown of nature. It's a reminder of the remarkable and often unexpected processes that unfold in the natural world, sometimes catching our attention with their dramatic flair. In the middle of the night, on a highway street, this interesting yet eerie video clip was captured. In the footage, we see a few cars drive by, as is expected on a highway. However, something unusual occurs. After the two cars pass, a creature crosses the street purposefully to avoid a collision. At first glance, one might assume this is a black or gray hairless stray dog on the run, and maybe a deer going back home as well. But let's zoom in. Nope, that is definitely not a dog or a deer. It appears to be a humanoid. While I suspect a human experiment had gone wrong, my team members were quick to point out that it could simply be a skinwalker, and I must say I agree with them. But where is it headed? Why cross the street in that form? Is there something we're missing or don't know? Please share your thoughts or insights with us if you have any. You thought babies were the only living things that found picking stuff and just running off a sport? Well. You thought too soon. This video clip was captured in the wilderness, and you wouldn't believe who the cinematographer is. In the middle of nowhere, this clip reveals a dusty trail with a wildcat walking towards it, and it's unknown what its plans are, as the camera was likely knocked down. But it's picked up by a wildcat. The cat seizes it and dashes off without a second glance, revealing its clear intrigue and enthusiasm. During this unexpected encounter, the camera briefly captures the view of the cat's mouth, revealing its teeth and inner buccal cavity. And I wonder if they discuss toothpaste purchases at home. Haha. Not long after, it comes to a halt, dropping the camera onto the grass and lying down to catch its breath. Has it now noticed there is nothing edible about its lucky finding, or playtime must come to an end? Either way, it drops the camera and gives us access to this interesting footage. Don't you just love nature? This footage was captured of a front porch layered with brown wood and brown leaves, having fallen probably during fall. Nothing seems to be off about this video clip until a presence is noticed walking unperturbed around the vicinity. It appears as a shade, perhaps an effect, but there's no visible physical figure. This goes on with the presence of moving angle after angle non-stop. This leaves me pondering what this presence might have been in its living days. After close inspection and cutting down the unnecessary, though possible things it could be, it's noticeable that this is definitely the ghost of a cat. Must it have been the owner's cat that met an unpleasant end? What do you think about this? In what looks like a painted white woodwork with numerous spaces, an investigator armed with a source of illumination and a camera was ready to film a gobsmacking moment. It's not clear whether he knew what to expect or not, but given the tools he had at his disposal, he most likely did. You can feel his nervousness, although he keeps moving closer to whatever he's filming to get a clearer shot. As he gets closer, whatever he's filming comes into view. You think it would run off given the light and human approaching, but no, it stares him down and even moves its hands. Its hand is the only clue we have about its identity, and even though it's not very clear, what is that thing? What do you think it is? Is it dangerous? Why does it seem so relaxed? This is a puzzle I just can't seem to wrap my head around. Do you have any idea what this could be? Let us know in the comments section. This trail camera managed to capture something truly spectacular. Feast your eyes on this adorable ball of white fur nestled in the heart of the woods. At first glance, it's quite the puzzle to figure out what kind of animal we're looking at. So go ahead, take a moment to hazard a guess. Did you say raccoon? Well, you're on the right track, but there's a unique twist to this story. This, my dear viewers, is a rare albino raccoon. You see, albinism isn't limited to humans, it can manifest in animals as well. Much like its human counterparts, albino animals are a rare sight to behold. Just take a look at this little creature. Its pure white coat and captivating appearance are nothing short of enchanting. It's so endearing you might just want to snuggle it like a plush toy in the comfort of your bed. Nature's wonders are truly remarkable. Now let's shift our focus to a trail cam capture that's quite different from the previous image. Brace yourselves, my friends, for this one might send shivers down your spine. Gaze upon this tree. At first glance, it might seem like an ordinary tree, nothing to raise an eyebrow about. But hold on a minute. Take a closer look at those branches. There's something eerie about them, something that appears to resemble a face peering right back at you. What could this be? Is it the mark of a possessed tree haunted by some ancient spirit, or perhaps a clandestine ritual spot hidden in the depths of the woods? The mystery is as thick as the forest canopy, and for now it remains unsolved. Some suggest it might have been digitally imprinted, but as I said, the mystery remains unsolved. Now, my friends, we've all heard of some peculiar natural phenomena like raining fish or birds, which, although bizarre, can sometimes be explained by science. But what I'm about to share with you from China is just on another level of strange. Picture this. After a heavy storm, when you'd expect maybe some raindrops or a few puddles here and there, what happened was it began to rain worms. Yes, you heard that correctly. Worms. No one knows where these wriggling creatures came from or what could have caused such a bizarre event. Just imagine stepping out of your home one day only to find a carpet of worms coating the trees, the streets, your cars. It's the stuff of nightmares, and I don't know about you, but I'd probably be feeling queasy for quite some time after witnessing that. In this next picture, a man was going through the woodlands oblivious to his surroundings. Little did he know that when he later retrieved his trail camera from this very area, he'd uncover something truly bone-chilling. If you take a closer look, you can spot it, a dark and enigmatic figure lurking behind one of the trees. Those two ears perched atop its head and its snout resembling those of a canine make the situation all the more perplexing. Yet the size and posture of this creature suggest it's far from an ordinary dog. Could this be the elusive and terrifying Dogman, a creature often whispered about in hushed tones around campfires? The Dogman, a legend steeped in mystery, has been the subject of countless tales, each more spine-tingling than the last. Its presence raises questions about the true nature of our forests and what could be lurking just out of sight. Imagine driving late at night when a strange person starts chasing your car. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what happened to this group of men who were driving on the highway at night. It was supposed to be a night like any other when they noticed a figure with glowing eyes running after their car. And there's something undeniably unsettling about the way it's chasing their car. As it draws nearer, a sense of dread washes over them. It makes it clear that whatever this is, it's no ordinary person. And just when they think things can't get any stranger, they realize the figure is completely naked. The sight alone would be disturbing, but it's the way this enigmatic being moves that sends shivers down their spines. The speed at which it's running defies all logic, making them question whether this could be something more than human. Could this be an encounter with a truly inhumane creature, something from the realms of folklore and the unexplained, or perhaps it's just a perplexing and unsettling run-in with a person, albeit a very unusual one? The line between the ordinary and the extraordinary can blur in the dead of night, leaving them with more questions than answers. What's your take on this bewildering encounter? To end today's episode, we thought we'd leave you with something mesmerizing. Just like this graceful tree swaying to the rhythms of the wind and the songs of the birds. It's almost as if the trees have come to life, performing a delicate dance for those lucky enough to witness it. The gentle rustling of its leaves, the way it moves so elegantly, it's a reminder of the beauty that surrounds us in the natural world. Sometimes all it takes is a moment like this to make us appreciate the wonders of the earth. So next time you're out in nature, keep an eye out for these enchanting moments where the trees themselves seem to join the dance of life. And with that, we end today's episode. If you have any Trailcam footage you'd like the rest of the world to see, please send it over to us at classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. Don't be shy and don't think it's crazy. We'll help you make sense of even the most bizarre of captures. What's more, we'll give you the credit unless you want to remain anonymous. What are you waiting for? Send it in. And whatever you do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us out a ton. See you in the next video.